All right, quick video. Peace. Hob Jordan, Stout Trucking. Here in Gary, Indiana, with Roehl, a company called Roehl, one of the top fleets in the country for Get Your CDL program. And today was pretest day. We're gonna recap that. So I ain't gonna lie, today did not go as expected. A little bit of a rough day, but not nothing that can't be cleaned up between now and the actual test in about 4 or 5 days that we're gonna be taking. So I feel like I did pretty good with the road test, although I did hit a median, which is not good. That's an automatic fail, but that was my first time ever doing that left turn, which is, it's not the hardest turn, but it's a difficult turn to do if you've never executed it. So I give myself a little grace on that, kind of tighten up the rest of the way for the most part. I think minor things like keeping the trailer in your lane, and I think because you got to constantly looking at your mirrors and stuff like that, like because you got 3 mirrors, you got your convex, you got your flat mirror, and you got your fender mirror. So you want to, like they say, you want to grab 3 mirrors, boom, check your mirrors, back in the windshield, check your speed, grab the other 3 mirrors, boom, boom, and just be working back and forth, right? And I think as I'm looking in the mirrors, I turn the wheel a little bit, and that's what kind of sometimes has me not in my lane. But I did that maybe 2 or 3 times, got it cleaned up. What else? Speed. So when you're a CDL permit person, like the speed limit, whatever the listed speed limit is, you gotta go 2 to 3 miles under that. One really at or 1 over the speed limit, they consider that speeding. So what our instructor was saying is just pick a speed, like say it's 50. All right, I'm gonna just roll at 48, or I'm gonna roll at 47, and just keep it at that. You know what I mean? And then one thing that was, it was a judgment call. I was making left-hand turn, right? And it was one car coming. It was far. It wasn't far. It was farther enough out where if you got a car, 100% you making that turn with ease, like not even think about it. But you gotta understand, you got a tractor, a 20-foot tractor, and then a 48-foot trailer behind you. So you got to get all of that through that intersection. And he was kind of speeding a little bit. Now I cleared it, and not saying you can clear it, but it's just all about making the right decision. And just, it was only one car. Just let them go by, be patient, and then make your turn. And then also, like, by me having that situation and sort of like feeling like I got to rush my turn, it was a truck that was above the line. So as I was tracking my trailer, it got kind of close. Like, I know it wasn't going to hit them, but it's just, they just care about being as safe as possible. And those are things they'll dock you for that. So I only got 13 points. You can get up to 30 points on the road test. So for me to never have really driven on the road with traffic and all that stuff since I've been down here, I actually did pretty good, but I was still kind of disappointed, you know what I mean? Because I shouldn't have had that many points. So then the pre-trip, it's just like all the stuff you got to memorize. I actually did pretty good with that, other than like the air brake test. And the thing about the air brake test, if you fail that, that's an automatic fail. And it wasn't that I didn't know the information. It was just like little missing a few different words you should have said here and there, or leaving something out. Either missing a word, leaving something out, or saying the wrong word. They'll dock you for those certain things. It's got to be to the T. And then also, they want you to explain it and then demonstrate it, which I did for like majority of it. But then as I was getting to the part where I was like just kind of fresh in my mind learning it, I kind of got a little anxious, and I started to help me remember it. I was kind of doing it, like saying it and doing it at the same time, rather than just explaining the whole thing. This is what I'm gonna do it, and then go on to the next. Explain it, do it, then you're done. So that minor side, clean that stuff up. I'm not worried about that. So, and then the back end, I was like feeling real good about my back end and my maneuvers. I was killing it. And then today I just kind of got in a situation I never been in, and I just kind of overdid it, and it put me in a bad spot. So he gave me another shot at it, gave me grace, and then I still jacked it up. Not real bad, but I still didn't, come through and execute. So, like I said, I just got to redeem myself tomorrow. We got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and I think the biggest thing just the way our days is, we got morning, we got lunch, afternoon, and then we go. So in the morning, first thing in the morning, we do our pre-trip. So, always do your pre-trip in the morning. First thing in the morning before you leave. And you should be solid on that if you do that every single day. And then depending on how the day shakes, either in the morning, you work on maneuvers, and then in the afternoon, you go on a roll, or vice versa. So it's pretty much what we're probably going to do the rest of the way. But I said, you can't get down on yourself. Clean that stuff up. Don't get in your head. Forget about the mistakes you made, because you did a lot of good. Remember, and stand on the things you did good, and stand on those principles. And I think another thing that's big with this stuff is, as you're learning the concept of it, there's little nuances and details that you got to pick up on. And sometimes the only way you can pick up on it, or the instructor can help you on it, if you put yourself in a situation where you may make a mistake or a misstep, they can kind of coach you out of it. So I think what happened with me today, I was in a situation I've never been in, and I kind of thought I knew what I was doing. And I think in my head, conceptually, I did it the right way, but I was doing too wide of turns instead of quarter turns, and correcting quarter turns and correcting. But I was just so tight on the thing, and in my mind, I wanted to be perfect. I should have just pulled up and just took the 1 point, because you can get up to 8 points and still pass. So I should have just took the 1 point, pulled up, straightened my tractor up, so I was straight, so I can back up the way I want to, quarter turns. So it is what it is. I ain't gonna dwell on it. Just got back from doing my run. I'm gonna get me a little workout in, tap in with my mom, my dad, my sister, and then call my wife after that, finish my workout out, get a little shower and eat, and then I'm gonna just tuck it in. I already made my prayers, so got all 5 of my prayers in. Alhamdulillah, so it's all good. Get ready for a fresh start, fresh day tomorrow. And you know what I mean? Bring it home. We came here to get a CDL, so we ain't leaving here without it. And so, yeah, that's about it, man. I think the rest of tonight, I did all my mandatory videos. I think I talked about that before. So they got like 32 different mandatory videos you have to take before you take the test. And if you don't finish them, you can't take the test. It's like 15 like Roehl videos or videos, extra videos they want you to watch that they want you to be done with before you go on the road or go with your trainer. So I ain't do those yet, because I really want to lock in, get into the pre-test, and I did that. So I'm gonna be a man of my word, knock them 15 videos out tonight. Probably go over the pre-trip tonight in the morning, go to bed, get some rest, do the same thing tomorrow, and just lock in on, the road work and the maneuvers. And, have a great day tomorrow on Friday. I don't think we'll be doing anything Saturday other than classroom stuff, but you can get extra work in. So I'll probably try to figure out how we can get some extra work in on Saturday and Sunday. So we, fresh and sharp on Monday, feeling confident going into, test week. So, yeah, man. Like I said, the CDL shit is not easy. It's not as hard as it may seem, or it may, obviously anything you're new to is going to be challenges and learning curves, especially with a program like this. This like, really a 2-week program. It's a 3-week program, but it's really a 2-week program, because they really try to get you ready in 2 weeks. So, like I said, you can't get down on yourself, you know what I mean? Even if, things don't work out, like, you still learn enough to continue to keep going and still be able to set yourself up to get the CDL, you know what I mean? So, but, it's not going to come down that for us, for most people in our class, because a lot of us, we all made little mistakes, errors here that we know we got to clean up. So we should be a pretty strong class coming in. So we tap in with y'all tomorrow, let y'all know how it's going. And, we ready to bounce back tomorrow. So peace, love, and light. Jordan Stout Trucking. And this is just coming with more review and recap of, get your CDL program with Roehl. So peace.